KSK book review, Barack Obama's A Promised Land. When I do these book reviews, I like to do them where it's not scripted. I make a lot of mistakes. I make a lot of errors, double talk, say the wrong thing or whatever. But that's how it is when you're just having a regular conversation with somebody, talking about something. It don't have to be perfect. When you're sitting here having a conversation. When I do my book reviews, I want it to be like as if we were sitting right next to each other and we were having a talk about it. Just like that. It's not crisp and perfectly a perfect review and all, none of that. Just to come off natural. That's pretty much it. So just like how I talk here is how I talk if you see me and if we were sitting right next to each other and we were talking about the book. Now, as far as the book, a few points that I have on it. This book is a commitment. It is a huge book. It's a big book, very thick book. Took me a little while to get through it with everything that's going on now. One of my other book reviews, I said that you want to read Barack's other books before you read this one, which is partially true. In my case, I don't know if that did more harm or what, because with his other books, they actually, in my opinion, were better than this one. It was just it wasn't as detailed as this one. But to get really into it, like this book was more so for someone who wanted to get more into the details of Barack's life and politics. It didn't go into what was going on with the kids and Michelle, which I thought it should have. And I know it's a part 1 of 2 or part 1 of however many you're gonna have, but I know it's part 1. So maybe he'll go into that later. But this pretty much, but it did cover him growing up, how his mother raised him. It covered his early years, with college and his early years in politics, I should say. But it just went into so much detail about the politics. It was like, dude, the thing is with Barack, you watched everything about him on CNN, MSNBC, all the news channels, YouTube. He was everywhere. You already know all the stuff about the politics or a lot of stuff about the politics. You don't want to know nothing about his politics. You already know what his politics is. What you want to know is about him and how he was dealing with all this stuff. He didn't get into that. That's where the letdown is in this memoir for me and for other people that I spoke to. But anyway, also, let's see. Yeah, like I said, it was very detailed. Memoir. A lot. Like I said, just so much on politics. It was just. It really wasn't a Democratic or a Republican like bashing book. It wasn't like that because Barack is a Democrat. It was a book that was just right in the middle. I would say, if Republican or Democrat, if you're interested in Barack's politics, you would get the details that you wanted in this book. It was like there was no surprises here. Like I said, and I pretty much know a lot about Barack. With I'm on the. If y'all hear that noise back, I'm driving as I'm doing this review, so this is big truck right here. And anyway, there was no surprises, no real surprises in this book, none at all. And I actually could have did a review a little earlier, but it was just with everything that was going on with the election and stuff. I was like, it's probably a bad time for me to say anything. And it was, all the touchy stuff with Biden and Barack and his opinion on a few different things, whatever. I just decided just to wait a little bit before I said, before I said anything about it, because my opinion on it is this: I really didn't like it. you just put it out there. I didn't enjoy it because it was more of a project than it was a book. This wasn't supposed to be a book and it's not. And I didn't want it to come off like I'm bashing Barack, because actually I voted for Barack both times. And I was a big supporter of him in '08. So it's not that I was bashing Barack, but it was more of a project than anything. It was like he was doing homework with this memoir. It's not assignment that you have to complete. You know what I'm saying, for college. You gotta. It was like I said, it was commitment. It was a lot of work with this book. It was, I don't know. I just felt like he could have done better. But maybe in 2, he'll go into more of the personal stuff in 2. So. We can just hope for that. But who's the book for? The book is pretty much for someone who wants more details in Barack's politics. I could save you a lot of time with that and say that. There was a few points that Barack did make that I actually agreed with when he was talking about his grandma. Didn't really think that he should have moved forward with Michelle, saying that not so much that he didn't like Michelle, but just saying that they were very different. And Barack knew that he needed a woman on his side that was very different from him. And I actually understand that. With the point he was making with that, I completely understand that, because sometimes you can be so much one way that you need somebody that's the extreme other way, if you can handle it. Because you need that balance, and Barack is, you know how he grew up, his story. So Michelle had the total opposite. So you need that balance. In his case, and then with Michelle being actually really African American, and Barack not really African American. He, dad and mom. Neither one of his parents were African American. Neither one of his parents are descendants of slaves. Put it that way. So I got that from Barack. He went into that as far as with the mom. That was a part of when his mom, how his mom raised him and stuff. They being raised by mom and the grandmother and all of that. But anyway, in summation, with the book, there's a lot of details. I do plan to get his second book and review that. As well, I've reviewed all of Barack's. I've almost read all of Barack's books. I just haven't made videos for him. I think I did Audacity of Hope, and there was another book I did of his, a review for. I can't remember now. I think it might have been Dreams of My Father or something else. I gotta look at it. But anyway, I do plan on reviewing 2. But this is a commitment book. I wouldn't. This is for somebody who's a reader and don't mind reading, and you want to get into the details of his politics. Hopefully, with the second one, he gets into more of him and how he handled it, and his feelings about different stuff that was going on, and his just opinion, like his raw opinion, not the politics opinion, but just the raw opinion. But so that's it. I ain't gonna make this too long. So that's pretty much it. On it, I do plan to do 2. All right, y'all.